The Making of an Expert. You know, it's a title that really gets you thinking. What is the secret sauce? What's that magic ingredient that separates the good from the truly mind-blowingly great? Well, today, we're going to get into it.
You've seen it, right? A brilliant musician, a chess prodigy, a superstar athlete, and our first thought is almost always, wow, they were just born with it. But what if that's not the real story? What if our whole idea of natural talent is, well, just plain wrong? That's the huge question we're tackling today, all based on some really eye-opening research.
So let's start with this whole myth of talent. We as a culture are absolutely fascinated with the idea of the natural born genius. I mean, it's an easy explanation, isn't it? It's simple to just say, oh, some people just have it. But this isn't some modern idea from the movies. This belief actually has some pretty deep roots in science.
Okay, so picture this. Way back in the 19th century, you have this guy, Sir Francis Galton. He's a pioneer in studying human intelligence, and he basically argues that being great is in your blood. It's an inherited trait, a fixed gift you get from your family. And that idea, boy, did it stick. It became the dominant way of thinking for over 100 years.
So following Galton's lead, scientists went on this massive, decades-long hunt. They were essentially searching for a genius gene. The thinking was, if talent is a real physical thing, we should be able to find it, right? Maybe it's a faster nervous system or a photographic memory, some core trait that could predict who's destined for greatness.
But here's where the whole story takes a sharp turn. After all that time, all that research, they came up with, well, pretty much nothing. It was a total shock. This paper we're looking at puts it bluntly, saying the search has been, and I'm quoting here, surprisingly unsuccessful. The hard evidence for a talent gene just never materialized.
And here's something that's just so fascinating. When you look closely at experts, their so-called gifts are incredibly specific. A chess master can memorize a complex board in a few seconds, sure. But, and this is the key, if you just arrange the pieces randomly, their memory is no better than yours or mine. A world-class guitarist has unbelievable finger speed, but their general reaction time is totally normal. These abilities don't transfer, which is a giant clue that they are built, not born. So, if it's not talent, what is it?
And this is where we get to the big reveal. The researchers proposed a powerful alternative, a concept they called deliberate practice. Now, this is not just practicing a lot. It isn't mindlessly running scales or hitting 1,000 golf balls. No, this is a very specific, structured kind of effort. It's the hidden engine that truly drives expertise.
So let's get this definition straight because it's crucial. Deliberate practice is activity designed with one and only one goal, getting better. It's not your job where you're just using skills you already have. It's not play, which you do for fun, and it's definitely not mindless repetition. It's focused, it's structured, and, frankly, it's often not very fun because it's all about pushing you right into your weaknesses.
So here's the recipe. First, you have to be constantly pushing yourself just outside of your comfort zone. You've got to be stretching. Second, it requires 100% of your focus, no distractions. Third, you need immediate, high-quality feedback. You need to know right away what you did wrong so you can fix it. Think of a coach correcting your form on the spot. And finally, repetition. You do it again and again and again, refining it each time. It's an intense cycle.
This table just lays it out so perfectly. Look at the goals. For deliberate practice, the goal is always improvement. For play, it's enjoyment. For work, it's just getting the job done. The motivation, the level of effort, they're completely different. Understanding this distinction is the key to the whole thing.
Okay, the theory sounds great, but where's the proof? Well, this is where it gets really compelling. The researchers did a landmark study on violin students at a world-class music academy in Berlin, and what they found was absolutely astonishing. Let's dig into the data.
This graph, right here, this is the smoking gun. The researchers split the violinists into groups based on their skill. The future soloists, the good ones, and the ones likely to become teachers. Then they tracked how many hours of solo, deliberate practice each one had accumulated in their entire life. And the pattern? It's just undeniable. There is a direct, almost perfect correlation between the hours they practiced and how good they were.
And let's put some hard numbers on this because they're staggering. By age 18, the best of the best, the future stars, had racked up an average of 7,400 hours. The group right below them, about 5,300 hours. And the third group, just over 3,400. What's most important is who they didn't find.
They found no naturals who got to the top without the hours and no grinders who put in the hours but didn't improve. The hours told the entire story.
And by the time they hit age 20, that top group had crossed a now famous threshold, roughly 10,000 hours of deliberate practice. This is where that idea of the 10,000-hour rule really came from. And we've seen this pattern pop up over and over again in chess, in surgery, in computer programming, you name it. It suggests there's a kind of universal toll you have to pay in time and effort to reach the absolute top.
So, what does this all mean for us? Well, it completely redefines the path to mastery. It gives us a new blueprint. It shifts the focus away from winning the genetic lottery and towards a process that is, at least in theory, available to anyone who's willing to do the incredibly hard work.
I want to leave you with this powerful conclusion straight from the paper itself. It says that what we call talent, that effortless grace, that lightning-fast insight, it's not the cause of expert performance, it's the result of it. It's simply what thousands of hours of intense, focused effort looks like from the outside.
And that leads us with one final, very personal question. If the main thing holding you back isn't your genes, but the quantity and quality of your practice, then what becomes possible for you? What skill, what passion, what craft will you choose to build one deliberate hour at a time?